3, 2, 1. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Today is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. It is 7:37 p.m. on a beautiful Monday night here in El Paso, Texas. Today, as always, guys, I am joined by our producer, Malena. Say what's up to the podcast.
Yo.
Also with me tonight, guys, our co-host, Misa. Say what's up, Misa.
Yo, what it do?
And also, guys, for episode number 24 of the Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, we have a very special guest with us. Friend of the podcast, his name is Ozzy. Say what's up, Ozzy.
What's going on?
Yo, Ozzy!
Okay, guys. So, episode number 24. It's going to be not the definitive Kobe Bryant episode, but in honor of the number 24 and in honor of Mr. Kobe Bryant, let's go ahead and take a quick moment of silence. And we are back. So, episode 24, guys.
Kobe!
Shout out
you
to
know
Kobe.
What? Because of Kobe, man, I buy everything 24, like 24 packs of beer.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Shit
That's
like
a
that,
good
dude.
idea, dude. Every time you buy anything that you can buy in quantity and they have it available in 24 packs, you got to get it.
You gotta slap a Kobe Bryant sticker on there, too.
Yes, that's like a new rule of life. So, Ozzy, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell the audience who do not know you. Me and Misa, Misa knows you. I know you from going to school, but introduce yourself to the podcast. Say what's up.
What's going on, guys? My real name is Osvaldo.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, I don't think I've ever... Oh, wait, I did know
I
your
like
name.
it.
But I forgot.
If I had to hand out money on people who know my real name, I would have enough money to still
live.
Yeah.
To still live in
still buy ramens,
No, dude,
like I usually do.
Wow.
What's your middle name?
I have no middle name, actually.
Same.
Bro, what?
I don't, so...
I think that's bullshit, dude.
Hold on,
I think
yeah,
a lot
hold
of
up,
people
hold
don't
up.
like saying their middle name.
Okay,
No,
hold up. Pause on
Actually,
the podcast. So, we have 4 people here. 2 of us have middle names. Misa, you have a middle name, right? You're normal?
No, I don't.
What? Bro,
Dude,
there's no way that all 3 of you guys do not have a middle name.
Chris has
Dude, my mom
2.
was the type of mom that she knew she was gonna have to yell at me, so she needed a name
She's
that
all-
wasn't long enough to be yelling.
Yeah, she's all cut it short.
Keep it quick.
Bro.
Misa.
Nah, honestly, I think all 3. Well, I know Lena's not lying. I don't think Ozzy's lying, but I think Misa, you might be lying.
Bro, I
Bullshit.
don't have a middle name. Look, if you think about it, what middle name will go well with Misael? Chorizo, maybe? I don't know, dude. Nothing.
I got a good one. Misael
Like-
Tortilla.
Or like if Misa was like my whole name, it's short for Misael. But if Misa was my name, I'd probably give like my middle name like Salchicha.
Misa Shashisha.
So like if I had to say something like Misachisha Monreal.
Misael.
But whatever, that's me, man. That's why my wife didn't let me pick my son's name.
Hold on. Hey, I got another one for you. Misael con leche.
Ah, hey, I love that one.
That one slaps, bro. That's a good one.
I got a lot of leche for you, Chris.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. All right.
De mi pelo.
Oh,
So shout out to you, Ozzy. Thank you for joining us on the podcast. With that being
Thank
said,
you for having me, man.
I'm going to crack this introductory beer. Yes, sir. So, guys.
hey, real quick. This is Ozzy's favorite part of the podcast is when you crack your beer open.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. So,
Straight up, man.
speaking
It really is.
Speaking about that, dude, you were telling me before the show, before the podcast, how you've listened to a bunch of the different episodes, and then you've kind of gone back to like the beginning of the podcast. Can you just give me some thoughts on what you think of the podcast so far?
I think it was probably the first one that you right off the bat you like start talking about like fantasy football and whatnot. I love sports, man. but I really don't, watch them. But I felt like that's the direction that you were kind of taking towards the beginning of the podcast, and to what it is now, it took like a different direction. And honestly, like I like it a lot more now.
Now that I'm in it, you hear that, Chris?
Yeah. I'm getting paid to say this, by the way.
Sponsorship.
Hey, bro, I don't blame you, bro. You gotta earn your hustle over there, so it's all good. But nah, anyway, dude, that's a very good observation because when I started this podcast, I mean, I didn't really clearly I thought I had this vision of what it would be, but once you start doing a podcast, things change. Especially the way I started doing it, like I just started having like different people on all the time. And then that's actually how Misa ended up on the podcast. Because that was like never like something that me and him talked about before the podcast. It's like we did the podcast. It was cool. We had a really good time. And then we were like, hey, dude, maybe we should do this shit together. And then now we're like fucking 10 episodes deep. So shout out to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, dude. So what are your thoughts on that, Misa? I think that's a really cool observation that Ozzy made.
It is. It's probably the best observation that we've had. I mean, I've listened to all of them as well.
Yeet.
And yeah, dude. Like I thought at first it was just gonna be sports. When you call me up, you're like, hey, yo, you want to be on my podcast? I was like, dude, finally this guy wants to make his podcast funny. So I was like, all right. And then I showed up, and then before I had already listened to the one with Joe Memes. Speaking of Joe, where the fuck is Joe?
Where is Joe?
He
bro?
didn't come back. Lent's been over.
Yeah, dude,
Easter,
Lent's been
man.
over. He's still not on social media.
Brienne's there.
You know what I'm gonna do tomorrow, dude? I'll file a police report and we'll get on that.
Yeah.
So remind me, text me tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll check on him.
So yeah, dude. So when I heard that was the first podcast I had heard actually.
Okay, shout out
so
to Joe.
I thought like, dude, it's a good
That's
job,
cool.
man. I've always liked podcasts, but I never thought about actually starting one. Like I just didn't know how, or even thought about like starting one or anything like that. So when we did our podcast, man, that shit was fun. And then you called me, you're like, oh my God, Misa, I want you back. I want you back, baby, come back. And then Lena's like, oh my fucking God. And I was like, all right, dude, on my way. And it's been like that ever since.
I have a question, Misa. So, like, the thought of being on an actual podcast came after you saw Chris's, or had you had that thought before? Does that make sense?
I've never had a thought of being on a podcast.
Right.
Really.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it's kind of like, for example, like me looking at football. I love fucking football, right? Watching the NFL, but I know I'm never gonna be in the NFL. You know, I'm never gonna try it.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
so being on it, it actually, I was thinking like, shit, like, what if I do my own podcast and kick Chris out and take all his fans and shit?
Take him for everything he's worth.
Yeah, but Chris had a better idea and asked if I wanted to be on his, with you guys, and I was like, fuck it.
We're
He
down
played it
for a
safe.
threesome.
Yeah, dude, and what's crazy is like, I listened back to like those old episodes, dude, and yeah, it's just come such a long way, but like it's like natural progression. And like just the other day when we did the other podcast, episode 23 with David Renteria, make sure you guys go hit that up on Spotify and the Anchor app. We were talking about how our chemistry was getting better, and it's taken some time, but I mean, like I feel like it's progressed to the point where people are like, dude, yeah, you can tell the difference. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, definitely, dude. And the funny part is, and I don't know if I told Ozzy too, but everybody that we've had on the fucking podcast, we hadn't seen in fucking years, other than like Joe and like David.
Yeah, there's
like,
a few.
Everybody else is like, yo, dude, I haven't seen your ass in like 10 to 6 years and shit. And you know what, dude, it's true. Like Ozzy, me and you, when was the last time we saw each other in person, dude? Like it's been fucking years.
Honestly, man, I don't even know. Even when Misa pulled up, I was like, who the fuck is this guy, and why is he, having a mustache and? We were youngsters, man. Like.
Hey, dude,
the whole time I've ever known this guy, I met him when I was like 16, right? And this guy's always had a mustache.
Okay.
Like this guy was born with a fucking mustache.
Let me stop you right there, guys. Fucking Ozzy, bro. You said something that's been on my mind this whole time. Because Misa pulled up to my crib, and I was like, bro, he didn't have he never had a mustache back in the day. And now this thing is like fucking Like straight up, like yeah, dude, it was crazy. Thank you for that, by the way. All right, so
Hey,
yeah,
dude, honestly, this is probably like a month of letting it grow.
that's
Wow.
the corn stash. Yeah, bro. That
Chris
looks
is
nice.
pretty long too. I don't know why he's talking
Yeah,
shit.
I got a good.
I don't know. Every time I
stash
take a deep breath through my nose, my hairs go up and tickle my fucking nostrils.
That's gross.
Yeah, that shit's.
You're gonna
that
have to
shit's
trim them
whack.
soon.
Hey, so
Nah,
I know, like, well, no, I don't really know Ozzy, but like we went to school together.
You know of Ozzy.
And I remember him because as soon as you added me on Facebook and I checked out your profile, I was like, dude, I know this guy, dude. I haven't seen him in like fucking 12 to 15 years, but yeah, I know him. So that's what's up, dude. Tell us a little bit about like your current life status. What's going on with you? Like, where do you work? What do you do? Let the podcast know what you're up to.
Well, current life status. I'm not married.
Single as a Pringle.
No, not really. I mean, I have a son, and me and his mom try to still work things out. It's been on and off probably since I've known church.
Jesus.
So that's.
I didn't cause that, did I?
No, I don't think so. You caused the first breakup though.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Did he really?
No, not really.
Dude, I was about to say, dude, about 80% of the time that I hung out with this guy, I was wasted.
I know.
Hey.
Yeah, you know what? We did have like a lot of like wasted times, man.
We did, dude.
We really did.
I got a hangover when I heard from you after a few years.
Shit, right?
He sends me a message like, yo, dog, your podcast is badass. And then my head started hurting like a motherfucker.
Nah, dude, you should have said when he messaged you and you saw it, like you just instantly got drunk. You were like instantly fucked up. Like,
Yeah, dude.
yo, what the fuck happened, bro?
Fell down the stairs and shit.
All right, so I feel like a friend that's gonna keep you faded 80% of the time is a good friend to have. So keep him around, definitely.
Solid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very useful friend. So so do you guys have some like stories you guys could tell us, like anything Ozzy that you could say was like a crazy story from back in the day?
Tell us all about it, all those times. Tell us how you painted the town.
I don't want to spill the beans because he's married now, but no, I'm just kidding.
Let it out, boy.
This is all before that, anyways.
Yeah, air it out.
Well, I met him when he was working at Calichi's.
Nice.
So, fast forward to that time when Calichi's was shutting down, everyone was going to have it was going to be a huge Calichi party. And the reason why I was there, I didn't work at Calichi's myself, but being friends with Misa.
He was my bodyguard.
And yeah, I was his bodyguard.
Bro, I have a bodyguard friend too. I'll talk about that later, but I have a bodyguard friend too. Yes.
But it was actually one of my really good friends, one of my best friends, Pablo, that introduced us, and I think that's what started everything off. So, anyways, case in point, Calichi's was shutting down. We were having a big party, and
That was the day they had it at Taylor.
that was at Taylor's house.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
and that was the first time Misa was taking shots of
Oh my God,
what is it?
Everclear.
Everclear.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
Everclear. So
You crazy.
let me tell you a few of the things that I remember seeing.
No!
Dude,
So
fucking
Tell us.
Misa. You were really taking shots of Everclear?
You wild
Bro,
as hell,
somebody,
dude.
somebody told me it
Ugh.
was water.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
then
okay.
you
Yeah,
got
that.
fucked.
All right. Yeah, you're fine. But yeah,
I was
I'm
like,
sure.
Bud Light?
Okay.
What?
Yeah, but
Bud
you
Light doesn't
should have
come in
smelt
glasses.
it.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead, Ozzy. Tell us the fucking aftermath of what taking shots of Everclear looks like.
well, we dared him and Eileen. It was Eileen. We dared both of them to take shots. So they were really hesitant about it. So they started Googling Everclear. Because, no one had ever bought it, because who in their right mind buys fucking Everclear?
That shit should be illegal to start with.
It's illegal in 7 states.
No shit.
I think 6 or 7
Oh,
Wow.
my
but it's illegal in a few
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
states.
fuck Texas, right?
God. Why? Like,
Wow,
no.
I didn't know that. So hold up.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
But they Googled.
Everclear is illegal in 7 states. Sorry, dude. I had to get that in
It's
there.
like 6 or 7, maybe 5. I know it's illegal in a
Yeah,
handful.
but just to know that shit's illegal means that you should have not been taking fucking shots of that, Misa. So God bless, but go on.
Nah, that just makes me think of a business opportunity.
That explains a lot now today.
Yeah, that explains why you are the way you are. Okay, good God, man.
Do you know what proof it's at? I just
It's
looked it up.
190 proof.
What the? Exactly.
Is that even possible?
Yes, dude.
It's the closest thing to legal moonshine.
Yes. You can use it to sanitize shit. And you
Yeah,
drink it.
it's like rubbing alcohol.
Exactly.
Wait, I drank sanitizer?
Yeah.
I think no,
you're
sanitizer is
good.
still not as strong as Everclear.
No.
Yeah, the closest thing to it is rubbing alcohol.
Look,
Okay,
man.
so
all I'm
that's-
gonna do now during this crisis is I'm gonna snort the shit out of some Everclear, get that shit in my lungs.
I hate
You know.
vodka. I
Hey,
don't know. No.
Maybe that's the cure for COVID-19.
There it is, guys.
That's
Brought
what
to you
I've
by
been
Ozzy.
saying. He's not gonna get it.
All right, Ozzy. So tell us what the aftermath of that looked like.
Like I was telling you, we dared them to take a shot. They didn't know what it was. They Googled it. And there were a few reports of people taking shots and they go blind for a couple of seconds.
What?
So I don't know if it's true or not.
I remember reading
and
that.
I don't
Anecdotal
really remember.
evidence.
I remember Eileen
Yeah.
tripping out, like, no fucking way. I need both my eyes.
And she was the one to chicken out, and Misa was like, fuck it, let's do it. So sure enough, they took the shots. You know, it hit her a lot more than you because she ended up pretty much just laying down on the swing. I don't remember that. And then her boyfriend, our boy Pablo, was there like, hey, you know, you all right, and this and that. And she started freaking out, and she texted him, hey, babe, there's some guy here touching me.
Oh,
But it was him.
Oh,
So he read the text and he was like, what the hell? Like, it's me. So he's like, you know, started messing with her. He's like, hey, girl, what's up? What are you doing? You want some more Everclear? Let's get this party started. So she starts freaking out.
Of
And at
course.
this point, like, Misa, I think you were playing beer pong.
yeah.
And this girl's just freaking out, you know, because some guy was touching her, but it was her boyfriend, like, messing around with her.
Dude, that's what Everclear
That's
does
what
to you
Everclear
guys,
does
dude.
to you, man.
Holy
Like, don't
shit.
mess with that.
You know what I remember, man? I remember after a while of being there, before the Everclear happened, me and Junior and Taylor decided to go buy some more beer. So we took off, and during that time, some of you guys had taken some Everclear. So when we show up, dude, Eileen hadn't taken it yet, but we see, like, I think it was Victor trying to throw up and shit, and like Gus was like feeling sick, dude, and we showed up, dude, and everybody was like it was a shit party. Everybody was like
Everyone was
fucking like
puking.
puking and shit. Like,
Yeah.
dude, what happened? It's like Everclear. Ozzy's like, dude, they just took some Everclear. You want some? Misa, take some. And I was like, dude, what the fuck is that? You know, and that's when we Googled it, dude, and eventually all I remember is I took the shot, I played some beer pong, and the next thing you know, I remember taking a shot off of Junior's belly button.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh,
that's sanitary.
Dude, I
God
found
bless.
some.
Yeah, you're definitely safe from COVID.
But hey, at least that Everclear disinfected that fucking belly
Yeah.
button.
That's what I'm
Sure.
saying. You're covered.
I can't even look at you the same right now, bro. I'm like so like I'm like who am I doing a podcast with?
Okay, this is coming from
Like,
a guy
what the fuck?
who like blacked out on his 21st and didn't even come into work the next day. So don't let him judge
Nah,
you.
that's rookie shit.
Yeah, that's the 21st birthday. That's what you're supposed to
remember when
do.
I was
Well, why don't you
Actually,
just
blacked
ask for
out.
it off?
Dude, I've woken up at work after a party, after partying at night, knowing that I had to work the next day, and the next thing you know, I open my eyes and I'm at the mall wearing my security uniform and shit.
Yeah,
And
we've
I'm
all
like,
had
"Wait,
those.
what?"
Yeah, that's terrible, dude.
But dude, we had a lot of crazy parties,
Yeah.
dude. It was those times. I mean, I was like 17, 18. It was those times where like I was just like experiencing,
reckless.
yeah, like wild and reckless. And then with you guys, it was even more. I mean, you guys are only like a couple of years older, a year older than me. But I always, when I would go up to you guys and see you guys, it's like, dude, these guys are like pros at partying and shit. You know, like you, Pablo, Taco, Eileen, all you guys partying all the time. So
They're
I started
professional.
partying with them, dude, and we were talking about it earlier. I have a friend. His birthday is the day before Halloween, and mine's the day after Halloween. So on Halloween day, we threw a party and shit, and I was Rambo.
You're Rambo?
have
Nice.
Yeah, I was Rambo, dude. I had this like big muscles on me and shit like that, and
You still
as
do?
the night went on, dude, I don't even know. I probably had Everclear that night too, because I don't remember ever taking that shit off. All I remember is you and Pablo writing on me with Sharpies,
Yeah.
pretending to put like tattoos on me.
Yeah.
I had like Thug Life on my chest. I had like a watch that said Party Time, and then somebody decided to like draw an arrow pointing down to my crack, 25 cents on there.
I got 50.
Dude, that shit was insane. But those are good, man. Those are good memories.
Hey, so
as far as I could remember.
Yeah.
You guys ever had parties like that, Chris?
yeah, well, yeah, dude. So I was gonna ask you about the Sharpie, because they wrote all over you, right?
Dude, I know that most of it was with Sharpie, but some of it was just, I guess, like washable marker.
Okay, so
And
that
the way I found out, bro, I woke up, my mom woke me up by slapping my feet in my bed.
that's what I was gonna say is that when you do that to somebody, right, and they fall asleep overnight, the marker bleeds off.
Yep.
And it bleeds off all over like the couch or the
That
bed.
happened to one of our friends.
Yeah, that happened to one of our friends, dude. That shit like bled blue onto the couch, all crazy, dude.
Well,
So, yeah.
my blankets, dude, when I lived with my mom, like all my blankets were white. I had this like heavy blanket, you know.
It's the worst.
So my mom like wakes me up like, hey, wait, hey! All you hear is like a slap, you know, and I'm fucking like still drunk, dude, like numb. I didn't even feel the slap. All I could hear is.
You just heard it.
And then so I open my eyes, and my mom's like, her eyes are like, what the fuck, you know, like, what the hell, you know, look at your bed. And then like I try getting up, and I look down, bro, like half of my bed was all black. You could see on a blanket like the perfect words of Thug Life on there, dude. That shit was crazy, bro. But the shitty part is I did not know that most of it was Sharpie. So it took like 3 or 4 days of like me showering for like half an hour every day.
True.
Because there are spots that I couldn't reach, bro.
Yeah, of course.
God.
If anything, there's probably still marker on my back.
Spots you couldn't reach. Shit, that sounds terrible. Okay, so
So wait, I have a question. When did you guys first meet? Do you remember that time? It was elementary, middle, like what?
No, actually, I was 16 years old when I got my first job at Caliches, and I worked there with your cousin Amber, dude.
dude, you see, this is stupid, dude. Like,
Yeah, dude.
I don't,
Yeah,
dude.
this guy has like
Yeah.
every 3 out of 5 people in El Paso.
Yeah, that's what I
related to
was
this guy.
when I was listening to the podcast. Like this guy's like related to like almost all of El Paso.
Dude, I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, look, check this out. I'm not even kidding. So look, Misa knew probably like 4 of my fucking cousins before he even knew they were my cousins.
My best friend, bro. My best friend Blue. I've known him since
Yeah.
2nd grade. We've been best friends.
Because
And I met this guy in middle school, and I didn't know that they were cousins until like 5 or 6 years.
okay, yeah,
Back in that time, it was always him and Junior. I don't know if you know Junior, but
Shout out to Junior, man. He lives in Houston. Shout out to that dude.
hey, can we say Junior's real name? Because you know.
His name's Elbanober Octavio Ortiz.
Okay, I definitely don't know Junior.
Yeah, that's why we call him Junior.
Yeah, I definitely don't know.
It's a Colombian guy with a Russian name. Makes no
Okay.
sense.
Nope, don't know
That's
him.
wild.
Anyway, so, but yeah, dude, I have cousins everywhere. They're scattered across El Paso. It's crazy.
But yeah, dude, I was 16 when I started working at that Caliches place, and I didn't know anybody there, so everybody was a new friend. But since I started working there, they all kind of like hung out. Like most of them hung out. It was like 3 or 4 people that worked there that were all friends, and then they had other friends that were close, including Ozzy, Pablo, you know, Victor. So since I started working there since 16, I started hanging out with these guys a lot. I remember you coming over a lot after we closed, and we would go up to you would bring like a 12-pack or like an 18-pack, and we would go up to the roof of Caliches and just fucking drink after.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Hell
So
yeah.
on the
On
top
a roof?
on the topic of jobs and first jobs, I think we should talk about everybody's first job and everybody's worst job really fast. And I think we should just go around the table and real quickly explain the both of them to the podcast. What do you guys say?
Oh, dude.
How does that sound? How does that sound, Milena?
I'm sorry, I was jotting shit down. You said
Okay.
first
so,
job and worst job.
Yeah, first job
Cool.
and worst job. So Ozzy, what was Caliches your first job?
No, he never worked.
no, I never worked there. I was just always there.
Oh, you were.
It's good.
He's like, I
It's
love the
that
ice cream.
fucking
Dude, we were
good.
always there hooking
It's
him up, bro. That's
that
why he ran out of
fucking
business.
Yeah.
good.
He's like, bro, that ice cream was.
Yo, that explains the
fire."
diabetes.
And it's not
It all
ice cream,
makes
Chris.
sense.
It's custard.
Yeah, sorry, bro. I was
Yeah,
gonna
my
correct
bad.
myself, but anyway. Okay, so what was your first job then, Ozzy?
My first job, It was at a community pool, man.
That-
And all I had to do was just clean the pool.
Wait, how old were you?
I was 14.
That's
Yeah.
like child labor laws, dude. You can't.
Well,
do that.
if you want to talk about like like an actual like taxes.
Oh, yeah, that's-
and all
yeah,
that, then
let's do
I
it.
was a busboy at the State Line barbecue restaurant.
Yee, you were there for a minute.
Yeah. Well, you were at Calichi's. I was at State
yeah,
Line.
I remember.
Shout out to
I was at
State
State
Line.
Line.
Shout out to State Line. I would say, yeah, guys, when we do these, let's do the like an actual taxable job where you got a W-2. That way, we're not promoting, people working.
Yeah, dude. I was about to say I started working when I was 6 years old. And
I
shit.
started
Yeah,
working at a young
exactly.
age.
Okay,
for
so
sure.
Ozzy, what was your worst job?
My worst job, probably that one.
Okay, so you had the first and worst. Okay, that's a good way to
Yeah.
experience
I mean,
it.
I started off as a busboy, and I mean, it got so messy, man. I would go home, and I would find like pieces of meat stuck to my shoes, my clothes,
He brought lunch home,
and
guys.
I always smell like barbecue and smoke, and
Yep. Hey,
I would just reek, man.
I feel
That's
you.
why I
dude.
like hanging out with you. back then, dude. You smell
probably. So hey,
It's-
Ozzy, come over. I'm hungry.
good. Yeah,
It's
so
a
you can get
really
that
hard
meat.
smell to get rid of.
Have you guys ever walked into Subway and smelled the bread and it smells all crazy?
Dude, fuck Subway. That's my
It's
worst job I
yeast.
ever had.
Okay, hold on. Let's get back into that because I think if you work at Subway and you come home from work, you smell like fucking like the worst. But
Oregano bread and
I
shit.
had a
like,
friend who worked at
smell
Subway
like
for
ass.
sure.
okay, so anyway, my first and worst jobs were my first job was at Applebee's as a busboy, so I can totally relate to you, Ozzy. And I would come home with fucking boneless buffalo wings in my pocket, bro. So
Yeah, after you ate them.
no, they were in my pocket, and then quesadillas in the back pocket, bro. Trust me. Anyway,
You got the ranch
Yeah.
dressing in the back pocket?
yeah, no quesadillas. Anyway, fucking my worst job I would have to say was at Aeropostale.
You worked at Aeropostale? Did you have to dress the part?
You should. I mean, every company kind of wants you to.
Yeah, kind of, but I worked in the back, so it wasn't like.
Oh, yeah,
I was
that's
gonna say,
different.
were you one of those guys like the Hollister guys that would go and stand out like shirtless in the door?
No, dude, who would want to? Who would want
Hey
to?
man, this store's for everyone. Let's just rip, guys.
Bro, who would want to see me shirtless, bro? No, hell no. I was in the
Yeah,
back.
maybe.
I was in the back stocking shit, and then yeah, dude, it was terrible, dude. That job sucked. And then yeah, those are my first and worst jobs. Leno, first and worst jobs.
My first job was Burger King, and my worst job was Hot Topic.
Hey,
What? I thought you would have been sick to work there, dude.
Huh? Hot Topic?
Yeah, looking at all the freaks walking in and shit. It's like, yeah, that guy's a future drug dealer.
No, it's not. I mean, honestly, it's changed
take
a
down
lot.
his number.
Like,
Hey man, I know you're only 12 years old, but can you hit me up in like 5 years?
honestly, it was just like a lot of stress because it's a lot of shit. Like, they just sell a lot of shit. They have a lot of licenses for like superhero shit, TV shows, music, like, so they just have a lot of shit, and they had really shitty management, and that always like that fucks with you, you know what I mean? And it like, I went to work at this Cielo Vista, fucking that one. I was like, nah, I'm done. Like, I'm done with retail. I'm gonna make a change. Like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
working retail sucks.
That explains a lot, because every time I would go to Hot Topic, they would
It's
just
all-
like be like, "The fuck you want?"
Dude, when I
It's
worked
all-
security at Hot Topic, bro, we would get calls like 5 or 6 times a day that there was like these like crazy looking kids walking around inside Hot Topic, and I'm like, bro, it's Hot Topic. Like,
Right?
I show up and it's like guys with like fishnets and like spikes on their neck and shit like that.
So
Like,
typical clientele.
yeah, it's like, dude, this is what you guys sell to. Like, what are you
But
talking
you know
about?
what? Not even, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, you get those people. You get them. You get the people who dress still in that like emo and that dark gothic type style, you know. But then you also have
Nerds.
yeah. You have people who fan out. Like, have you ever seen those little Funko Pops? Those bobbleheads? They have like the yeah, dude. Like, Hot Topic is like super into the licenses of things, which is why they can sell those. Those things are fucking expensive. Like, if they were gonna release
Yeah, I had like 6 or 7 of them in San Antonio, but they burned up in my apartment.
But that's the thing,
shout
dude.
out.
Like, they run for a
R.I.P.
lot of fucking money. Like, people, like, it's like weird now because it has such a broader clientele. Because then you have people and families that like fuck with TV shows and movies and music, and you have like teenagers coming in with their like parents, like, oh, another band.
I think it's all millennials, dude. It's like
Yeah,
millennials that get their goal.
But you know
and they always
what?
shit.
It's definitely changed too, because like the Cielo Vista location, that one got a lot of better merchandise. Like, it just sold everything and anything better than like the other 3 locations. Like, does that make sense? Just because like there was people there to buy, like they sold. That's what that fucking place did. It was a $2 million store.
So, any Misa, first and worst jobs?
Dude,
Yeah.
my first job, I was like 5 and I was selling candy there at Chico's. to
No.
people. Nah,
You
just
said
kidding. Nah.
W2
My
jobs.
first job was at
Yes.
at Caliches. I was 16.
That's what he
But my
said.
worst
Yeah.
job was at what Chris said, man, fucking Subway. I worked at Subway for like 2.5 years.
No. Which one?
I worked at several ones, man. There was one on Artcraft. There was another one. Cause see, there's like I worked for 2 different owners. One of them had like 2 stores. The other one had like 4.
Like franchises, or like they're all
Yeah.
under one corporation?
Yeah, they're all franchises. There's
Oh,
like this
okay.
one guy that owned like 11 of them in El Paso or
What
something.
the fuck?
So we would get switched out and stuff. But dude, it's just like Chris said, man. Like to this day, I can't walk into Subway without like getting that awful, dreadful feeling of like
real.
this place sucks ass.
Yep.
Your flashbacks.
Flashbacks, dude. That shit sucked.
Yeah, I
That
don't
shit
fuck
sucked.
with any place that I don't fuck with anymore.
Yeah, dude. So for sure, fucking Ozzy, I wanted to ask you really fast. If you had to pick one place to eat an EP, where would that be?
Ooh.
Like right now, or like for the rest of my life?
No. Just like if we weren't like quarantined or anything, like anything goes. Like whatever, the one place that's your go-to.
You would go to right now.
So I guess, yeah, like the first place you'd go to now that, like, when everything lifts.
Jaguars
I
has
don't
some
know,
pretty
man.
good wings.
You know what? I've been craving Chicos. I'm not gonna
No
lie.
way.
No.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
I have like this mixed feeling about Chico's lately.
Dude, I literally just said on the last podcast that Chico sucks ass.
But
Yeah,
you know
we're
what?
not
Maybe
really
that's why I'm
sold.
craving it, because I heard it on the podcast earlier
And
today.
he heard suck ass and he's like,
Yeah,
I'm
and I
hungry.
was
Oh,
like,
fuck you.
He's like-
ass and Chico's combination.
He's like, that sounds great, baby. Yes, sir. Yeah,
Typical
dude.
Saturday night right there.
Okay, so you're a big Chico's guy then, huh? I don't know, dude. I can't do it, bro. I can't. I don't know why.
Honestly, I like it, man, but I try not to go that often
Yeah.
because then, you know, it gets old and I wouldn't want to go back.
No, yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to
Yeah.
spoil
But you know what?
it,
I went like I would go often, well not often, but I would go regularly. And then I stopped going for like 5 years, and I went back to it, and it wasn't the same. And I think that one thing that changed the most was the cheese.
Yeah, for a while though.
Yeah, it's like what
Wow.
happened to that one flaky cheese that goes over my fries and my
It just
rolled
melts
tacos?
Is
in your red
that what
sauce.
they put in the que flauta?
No.
I don't know, dude. It looked like now they get like cheese slices and they like shred
Well,
it.
I've
That shit
never
was-
had it, so maybe we can do that as a pod, like, first impression, because I've never had it.
I remember
wanna
for a
try it.
minute it was a little different, and it kind of like I didn't like the taste of it, so I stopped going. And then a friend came in from out of town, and she was like, "Hey, let's go to Chico's." So I was like, "Yeah, let's go." Why not? And the cheese went back to I guess what they were using, because it tasted awesome. So I was there again, like every other week.
He's
So
like,
once a week.
Mister, I don't like to go often.
okay. Yeah.
That's me right there, man.
Hey,
Going off.
when
Hey, but that being said, what's your favorite restaurant? What's one restaurant that you won't ever get tired of that you could probably go every day?
Ooh.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Do you
man.
guys have one?
Yeah, Dion's.
Really?
I just said Dion's.
Dion's is pretty fire, dude. You can switch it
I
up.
worked
They
there
have a
for
lot of
like
different
4 years,
offerings.
dude, and I ate it like every day. It was cool because it's like you said, you get food. So if you worked a certain amount of hours, they'd give you food, and they have subs, salads, and pizza, so you get 3 fucking variety. And you can do whatever the fuck you want because we know how to make it. So you can do it to like your taste. So you never get tired of it.
Jesus, that's some good promotion right there, dude.
Right?
Go
I
check
love
them out.
pizza.
I would say I could probably eat get flauta every day. That shit's fire.
Oh yeah, that's my top.
Yay.
That's
Get
my top.
flauta.
I
Dude.
fucking
It's been a
love.
minute.
Have you
Have
guys
you eaten there at that place across, right next to it? That it's not really right next to it, but it
By
starts with a
UTEP.
T.
The
Tamplico or
Teparca.
Teparca.
Oh, we had that today.
We honestly had that right now.
I
like
just
before the podcast.
I just stuffed my face. Like that shit was so good.
With what?
With flautas de vodka.
Oh, dude, bomb.
Yeah, dude. My mom when I got here from work, she had went and picked up a fucking order of flautas for everyone.
Yeah, guys.
I'm
So
not even
everybody
lying.
listening, hit that place up. And for Teparca that's listening, come on over and sponsor us, man. We'll spread the word.
We're down.
We're flauta lovers over here.
Que flauta is better, man.
Yeah, que flauta is
flauta.
better
I
for
fucking
real.
love que flauta.
Yeah, dude.
Last time I went to Tepalca, my friend spent like $45 on like a couple of orders of flautas. And personally, I didn't like them. Que flauta, man, is always like number one.
Have you?
I just always thought que flauta was
Yep.
just kind of
No.
dirty.
What?
Really?
What?
You tripping?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I used to go there a lot, and I stopped there, and then while this lady's taking my order, she's like poking her nose and shit, and I'm thinking, well, whatever, the cook will cook it, and then when she's done taking my order, I see her putting on her apron and shit, and then walks to the back, and I'm like, fuck this.
Bro,
See,
that-
I still hate it. It was good.
It was secret ingredient.
Well, yeah, but that's why you say something.
Yeah,
like,
man. You know what? I think all this has to do with me watching Chef Ramsay and like Kitchen Nightmares and shit like that. Have you guys ever watched that show?
Nah,
No.
I've never
That
seen
shit
that.
is
shit.
amazing, dude. This guy goes to like restaurants that are having a hard time, like staying in business, and then he goes and checks why this restaurant's going downhill, and you'd be surprised, dude. It makes me think a lot of these restaurants in El Paso are probably like that, dude. Dirty as fuck.
I think a lot of the restaurants in El Paso could be on that show.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
Yeah.
We should start a show like that. El
Fuck
Paso
no.
Dirty Dining.
Fuck
No, I don't think I
no.
want to ruin my dining experience in El
Then
Paso.
yeah,
with
then
that.
you make your shit at home.
Then
Oh,
we're never gonna be able to go anywhere.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow.
No, but for real, dude. So, I have on this rundown that first is it? That's not the First Amendment. A First Amendment is
Second
it? The
Amendment.
Second Amendment, Chris.
Dude,
God.
No,
they-
that was me.
No, they wrote
Chill out.
First Amendment on
Chill
here,
out.
so that wasn't
I
my
don't know
fault.
shit.
But yeah.
They're
So
both going to school, right?
no, obviously.
You all are going to school, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously I knew because I'm reading it and I'm
Well,
like,
wait.
no,
Chris
this is not
actually
right.
isn't. Chris is safe. He's been out of school for a day, for 2 days.
Yeah,
His semester ended on
My
Saturday.
semester ended on Saturday, but you see how I read that and I was like, this isn't right. I'm supposed to ask him about guns and it says First Amendment.
But
No.
if you
Doesn't-
notice,
yeah.
there's like 3 firsts there. I just got carried away.
So, okay, so Misa told us that you're a huge advocate of the Second Amendment and your right to bear arms, Ozzy. So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I love guns, man. I'm not gonna lie. I've never owned one. Well, up until like a few years ago. But the reason why I got mine, I used to live in this big old ranch,
Hey.
and somebody actually went into my grandpa's room, and my grandpa freaked out, and he was like, "Who are you? What do you want?" And the guy took off running. So I freaked out, man. For me and my family, and I was like, maybe it's time to get a gun.
Hey.
So I started looking up, like why you should get a gun and so on and so forth. And do I want one? Do I need one? And I think we all do, man. If everyone was packing, do you think there would be like so much crime or like like burglaries or like assaults or stuff like that?
I can
Like-
I can see what you're saying. But at the same time, I don't like the idea of just everybody having a gun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, by all means. Like I think
Because-
I am totally for stricter gun laws.
Yeah.
For
I am.
real. Because like
We see an average of 70,000 that have like unknown, like they cross lines, they're stolen, they're missing. Like how do we have that many guns that go missing and we still don't want to put something in place? You know what I mean? Like guns can
Do
cross.
any of you guys feel like we shouldn't have guns at all? Like
No,
Australia?
that's unrealistic.
no, I'm not trying to get
no,
like
yeah.
like
There just has to be a balance.
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty liberal on this, dude, but I'm not saying that nobody can have guns because
that's not my right to say either.
I understand why people feel the need to protect themselves.
Yeah, they have that
and
right.
for them, you know, the easiest way to do that is just to keep like a nice 9mm like little pistol that's just for personal
50 caliber. Chilling in your trunk.
Exactly. We don't.
Oh shit got serious now, boys.
I just think we could also see benefit.
Hold on. So what I'm saying is we don't need people with these huge guns, dude. We need something like that.
Little ones like this.
Yes, compact, just for personal protection. We don't need people with a 50 caliber like light machine gun walking into Walmart just lighting
but that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, if you want to
I mean, they should still have the right to buy those guns. So I think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, if you want to have those type of firearms, okay, fine. Because in all honesty, like, there's a lot about guns in terms of like their purpose, their meaning. Like, there's a lot to it that you can advance. Like, it's a hobby. It's something that people are educated on. It's weapons.
Sport.
But I think it's a problem when anybody and everybody at different ages and different mental capacities can get any type of gun. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna have,
it's kind of like it's the same problem you're gonna have with like alcohol and shit. You know?
Yeah,
like,
but we tax alcohol. We tax everything. So why not get a system in place and use that money? You know what I mean? Like,
hold on.
I would agree with that first, but first the government has to start taxing the church.
Well,
once they start doing that, then hey.
One issue at a time. The thing is like cars, we have to pay for that. We have to pay those fees. Like, I don't understand why we have to register, get licensed, do all that, but we don't have the same effect on guns. Like, I just don't. I don't get it.
Okay, hold up. Go back to what Misa said about how, like, regulate it like beer. Well, dude, like, come on, dude. Like, beer isn't causing people to go shoot up schools and like, Walmarts.
No, but it's causing people to go home and beat their wives and drive drunk and kill innocent people.
That's another issue. Like, wholeheartedly, that's another issue. I agree with you. But when you're talking about, like, gun control and why people should be limited in the access to the types of guns that they can possess, like, you can't tie that into anything else but just pure gun control and controlling the types of weapons that are out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Like, that's a whole.
But I mean, even then, like,
separate thing.
if I had the money and it's and I'm able to, I'll even buy a fucking tank and drive that shit to work every day.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, why do you need a tank? Like, that's like it's so irrational.
Why not?
Why do you need a 30 pack when you're just by yourself?
Well,
I think, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't.
That's not nearly the same thing at all.
Like, if you want to have,
It's exactly the same thing,
Why you
Chris.
spit on it when you can just buy lube?
Hey, you hear that, Chris? Buy some lube for your hot dogs.
I just
Chris
think like,
likes to spit on his hot dogs before he bites into them.
How else do you eat a hot dog?
Oh shit, you too?
Yeah.
What?
You see, bro? I told you. Hey,
I don't
this
know.
isn't just this. Everybody knows about that spitting on the hot dog, and Ozzy's got my back. So anyway, I guess Ozzy, real fast, if we had to ask you something, would you rather have access to alcohol or to guns?
One's gotta go.
Shit.
Let's say you have to
yeah,
give
like
one up.
one or the other for the rest of your life.
I mean, you
Either-
can still get the other, but it'd be illegal.
What? No.
It's either or.
I'm just trying to help him out, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's a
No,
cool
no.
question.
No, because
Who
then
asked that question?
they're still just it's in the rundown. I don't know.
Oh,
Honestly, man, if I had to choose between guns or alcohol, I would
It's tricky.
choose probably guns.
no, like to go, like not, to have.
To have.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't see when a beer could be saving my life. And
Hey,
Yeah,
you never know.
yeah.
Somebody could break into your house and be like, "Dude, chill, have a beer with me."
You
And
don't
then
have
you
to
go
drink.
heart
You
to
can do
heart,
other stuff.
And then shit happens. Next thing you know, you make a new best friend.
Mushrooms.
You guys drink
weed,
together after
acid,
that?
You're good.
Dude, I've a beer has saved my life countless amounts of times.
Yeah, but beer has almost killed me too, though.
yeah, that's true. I was driving. No, I'm just kidding.
hey, when you drink beer, that's one of the things, bro. You got to learn how to balance it. You know what I mean? You got to figure your way
With
around.
guns, man, you gotta learn. You know,
Two hands on the.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to handle it. Like, honestly, man, when I bought mine, I was in my early 20s. When I got mine, I decided, hey, I want to get a gun. After someone broke into, our house, And then I was like, okay, well, I have kind of like anger issues, and I do dumb shit when I get mad. So for a whole year, I like, mentally like kind of like trained myself and contemplated.
That's what's
and
up.
like try to always keep my cool in any circumstance to see if I could, handle having a gun. And after that year was up, I felt like I matured, mentally, just by trying to like see if I could, keep my cool and keep
your mustache. Your mustache fucking spread to your beard.
Yeah, it did.
And that's when you knew you were.
Bro, I grew chest hair.
Oh
shit!
God bless. Hey,
and then that's when I was like,
coming, dude.
that's when I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm gonna go get my first, firearm.
And this is the only weapon, the only gun you got?
Oh no, I have. I have a little collection.
No way.
But like Chris was saying though, I can agree with him that we don't need 50 cals and all that. I mean, I can think of 2 or 3 firearms that I do not need. Like,
do you carry lawfully?
Yes, I've always carried a handgun with me. Like,
you carry it.
Your vehicle is an extension
of you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's your property.
I would always have it in my car or truck, whatever.
Yeah, of course.
I want to say it was 3 years ago. I was actually with Pablo and Victor, and it was my last time in Corpus Christi. I was on vacation, so I wanted to go visit them. My last time in Corpus Christi, we were gonna go eat, just the 3 of us, the homies. And so they were like, "All right, you're the guest here. So where do you want to go?" I said, "I want to go get some Chinese." We go to a Chinese place. We're eating, talking, catching up, whatever, so on and so forth. Before we know it, like, people are freaking out and running all over the place in the restaurant. So we're just like, okay, what's going on? And we didn't pay mind to it because we were already eating dessert. So we're like, shit,
ain't nothing gonna stop me from eating this.
I mean, look at me. I'm a dessert guy.
We all are.
So like another wave of people are screaming and yelling and like hiding behind the walls and so on and so forth. And then they're like, "What's going on?" So I got up, and then I looked behind the wall towards the restaurant, and there was a guy wielding a gun, getting his hand into the cash register, just stealing all the money.
Oh shit!
And this guy is just waving the gun around, taking the money.
This whole time he's just eating your dessert.
And then this whole time I'm like, fuck, man, like, how am I gonna go get my dessert? Like, because he's in between me and my, and the buffet line. But
he was on an island.
I was like, "Hey, you're almost done. Like, I'm trying to finish eating." But all jokes aside, I freaked out, man. And I looked at Victor, I looked at Pablo, and I'm like, "Hey, man, there's robbery in progress. Fucking hide." So
yeah, get ready.
Victor being the biggest one out of the 3 of us, this guy, he's like 5'9", almost 6 feet. Yeah, about like 5'9".
He's like 5'10".
He's a big guy, man. He's a big boy, and he used to box. He's a scary looking guy, and this big old guy was hiding under the table. Pablo hid behind one of the pillars.
Oh shit!
And I hid behind the wall. So as I'm looking behind our table, there was a family. And the way the restaurant was, built, the cash register was in the middle, and then the buffet line was farther back in the middle as well, and then the dining area was on one side, and on the opposite side was the other side of the dining area. So I look back at the family, and it's the wife and her 2 little boys, and I looked at them, and I'm like, "Hey, get under the table, just hide. There's a guy in here with a gun." And just the looks on their faces, man, will always stay with me. Just, sheer panic and horror.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's dramatic.
And I'm looking to see where the husband was, and he was stuck on the other side of the restaurant, and he couldn't come through because the guy was in the middle. I thought to myself, what if this guy comes and starts stealing, everybody's cash or whatever, belongings and whatnot. Right. So I reached, for whatever reason, for my waist, and I was like, shit, I don't have my gun. It's in the truck.
Dang.
And the reason why I didn't have my gun was because I didn't have my license.
Oh.
So I had a knife, my pocket knife. I took it out, and I was like, well, if I'm going now, I'm going down fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I thought you took it out of your chocolate cake.
Right? No, chocolate cake. I had it in the other hand.
Squeeze the chocolate
cake on one
off.
hand and the pocket knife on the other. I was just, hoping he wouldn't, mess with the people. And that's when I realized, I want to get my license so I can have it on me.
Yeah, I mean, when you go through situations like that, then you're gonna start thinking like, you know what? From now on, I'm gonna carry a gun. And how many times has it happened since then? The only time that
was the only time that I didn't have it. Yeah. So 2 weeks later, I was actually taking the class, and I finished top of the class.
Ooh,
That's what's
Perfect
up.
score.
That's what's up. Cool.
Headshot. Let's take a break, guys, and then we'll come back with episode 24 of Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. Check out our Facebook page. Give us a like. Give us a share. And we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk. I think these guys have some movies they want to ask me about if I've seen. We're gonna talk about what the funniest thing that everyone saw on the internet today, and we'll get into a few other topics. So let's take this break, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back from our break. This is episode number 24 with our boy Ozzy. Ozzy, once again, thank you for being on the podcast. We really appreciate it. Shout out to you. Make sure you guys go follow us on Instagram. Give us a like on Facebook. Share our Facebook page as well. Remember, guys, all episodes of Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, are available to stream for free. Free 99 on Spotify and the Anchor app. We're also on Google Podcasts and Breaker FM, so make sure you check us out.
Are you looking at this guy? This guy's making love to this.
Dude, I'm making love to the microphone. Also, guys, go check out our latest episode 23, featuring David Renteria. Check that out. So, real quick, guys, on our break, we were talking, and Ozzy decided to bust out a popsicle. Go ahead and tell us what
popsicle, bro. That's a debate we were going.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Let me put my zipper.
Whoa. All right, Ozzy, tell us. Gross. Wow.
Nah, but we were debating, dude. Like.
Okay, Ozzy, tell us what you were just eating.
I've been there.
Yeah, let him tell us what he was just eating right now.
I was eating a boli.
Or
how do you say boli in English?
Otter Pop.
Yeah, Otter
That's
Pop.
a brand name.
No, it's a joke.
Oh.
God bless. Okay, anyway.
That's what I called
Wait, Chris
it.
don't even know Spanish.
Yeah, no. So then what I had isn't what you guys have. Like, I had Otter Pops.
That was an Otter Pop.
So it is the same thing.
Yeah, but a
Okay.
boli is different. Okay.
I didn't know it was called that, is what
So
I'm
how do you
saying.
say boli in English? Because you can't say popsicle. Popsicle's a paleta, right?
Right.
I don't think there's supposed to be a translation for that. I think that's just something that that they just came up with. You know what I mean?
Come on,
I wonder,
man.
boli?
A boli.
A boli.
I'll take a boli, please.
Yeah, I'll take 3 bolis.
Hey, Misa, I'll take a boli.
Hey, kids, you want a boli?
So what's your favorite flavor of boli or popsicle, I guess?
I'm stuck between the blue, the green, and the red, man.
What, dude? Those are so basic.
Damn.
Shit, don't see
Yeah,
that.
bro,
How dare you?
you're not the man I thought you were.
Which
I don't
one's
know, man. They're just.
No, I would go with the pink one, bro.
Well,
No
I
doubt.
noticed when I offered you.
No doubt.
I offered Misa one right now. It was between the pink and the blue, and I was like, I swear to God, if he gets the blue one, I'm gonna shoot him.
I'm going to take him
All
out.
Hey, this is before I knew he was carrying, dude. Damn.
He chose the pink one though, so I was like, all right.
Yeah, dude. Compromise.
I like
But nah,
this
dude,
guy.
it's the best flavor out there. You guys don't eat them often? I think it's a Mexican thing, dude. I think it's like a Mexican culture thing, because I grew up with those bolis. I grew up with the ones where like you would break in half. They were more like,
Yeah.
you know, with
Oh, I
like the
had
pointy
those.
ends.
Those were like the basic ones.
Those were like the basic bolis.
I feel like the big ones, like the big the Mexican ones,
Oh,
they're
dude.
like the more like the gourmet shit.
Yeah, the
It's like,
coconut
damn,
and like.
damn, you got
limon.
money? You got the real
Right,
ones?
dude, we used to call them dildos back in middle school. Everybody, most of the people listening that went to Lincoln, that I know they all remember that ice cream man. We called him Mister. El Mister, vamos al Mister. "A comprarnos un dildo." And I was like, "I'm getting a blue one this time." And I'm like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm sticking with my pink."
My pink.
Damn,
Wait.
even then, pink.
Even then, dude, all the way.
Nah, for me, it's the white one, the blue one, or the green one, man. Lime, blue coconut, or the white coconut.
Yes, I
I
agree.
think that's why we stopped talking
Yeah.
for
I
like
agree with you.
Oh,
bro.
wait.
bro.
If you ain't white, you ain't right, man. You gotta go for that coconut one.
Dude,
Are you guys into those? You and Lena?
I love the blue coconut one, bro.
The blue and the white are my favorite.
Fire. Absolute
Yeah,
fire.
We used to
And
have
then
them after
there's two
practice.
different ones. It's like the water based one and the milk based one. And I can't choose between them.
I think,
Yeah.
dude. I think honestly, I think like the Wollies or whatever you guys call them, the Otter Pops. I think that's like a Mexican culture. I think that should be like categorized as
Yeah.
like a Mexican like ice cream or something.
Trademark that.
It's a trademark.
So,
like-
so Ozzy, did you grow up like you grew up here, like in El Paso, or where exactly did you grow up?
Yes, sir, in El Paso. I was born and raised here.
Nice.
Actually, the first of my family to be born in the States.
Whoa.
Oh, so you're what we call a first genner.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Where was
How
your
does that
mom?
feel, dude? Is it like a? Do you feel like you have to carry yourself more, like prove yourself in some ways to your family because of?
Yeah, it's
Oh shit.
it's tough, man. Because like all my family, like and most of my family is in Durango, Mexico.
Oh yeah, I got family.
Yeah. So like whenever like we talk to them or when I go visit, which is once in the blue moon, they're always like, "Oh shit, Mr. Baller coming through," and
Mr.
hey
Wiggle.
man, like buy the food this time around. And it's like, hell no, man, I'm just as broke over here as you guys are.
I'm an American with
Yeah.
Mexican parents.
Like I'm trying to get this food stamps and they're not proving me.
That's cool, dude.
That's good.
Um,
My mom was a first generation. Your
My
parents,
mom-
all you guys' parents were born here. Your grandparents.
I'm a third gen, bro.
Wow.
I think it's tough for first gens, man.
Yeah, my mom
Because
was
you gotta
a
back
first
up,
gen. for
both
sure.
like American
Yeah.
and Mexican. And I didn't learn English till I was like about 10.
Damn.
So after that, like all my friends, nothing but, English. Because after 5th grade, they moved me into English classes, which I begged my mom not to do that. And, next semester I was in English classes. But it's tough, man. You gotta rep both your Mexican side and your American side. So since, like I was saying, like all my friends after that, they only spoke English. My Spanish started like getting really, really shitty.
Hey, I feel you on that, dude. That's cool that you actually picked up the English at even at that age, and like your English is really straight, dude. I didn't learn Spanish till I was like 25, and I'm still trash at it, bro. Like I'm still like I can speak Spanish and like talk to you, but I can't like conjugate words or verbs and shit. Like it's fucking terrible. But people understand me, so that's all that matters, really.
But the
That's surprising.
Yeah, you know what? Like
Chris Marquez.
Marquez.
And
Marquez.
there's a lot of judgment going off your, or not just you, but like people's last names.
yeah, for
Dude.
sure.
Every time I go somewhere, like if I'm at a doctor, if I'm somewhere where I'm waiting and then they call my name, my name's Misael Monreal. So I go up to this person, it's usually a white person, and they're trying so hard to speak Spanish just because they think my name's Misael Monreal all the time, which I understand. I mean, looking at the name and then you look at me, you're like, oh shit, like, you don't know if to continue or call Border Patrol or some shit, but I could understand, but I don't know. In some ways, it kind of does upset me, People
Bro.
automatically think like,
I'm calling ICE on you.
dude, I've
Instantly.
been walking around and like you hear people's like, look at this wetback,
Right.
and I'm
What?
walking by, and then I ask them out loud, like, where,
Donde? One thing that upsets me, man, like I work for Coca-Cola, so I have different accounts in the West Side. I sell Coke for a living.
Wow, you hear
Yeah,
that?
nice.
Legally.
And Sprite and Diet Coke. But I work for Coca-Cola, and I have accounts all throughout the West Side. And it's been more than a handful of times that somebody will go up to me and they're like, "Excuse me, do you speak English?" And it's like, what? It's like, I'm just like, I don't know how to like really like take that in.
Yeah.
Like,
I get that a lot, dude. I get that a lot. And the crazy thing is, for me, it's like, I had to, like, I didn't speak English good enough for the white people or for English people, and I didn't speak my Spanish good enough for like Spanish people, you know. So like, there's two ways, you know. I had to like, you know, speak fluently Spanish, you know, which wasn't a problem, and English as well. You know, I have friends that didn't know I spoke Spanish at all.
yeah,
You know,
I
and
get
then
that too.
but most people also don't ever know that, you know, I speak English. You look at me, you're like, "Hola,"
Right?
you know, like,
"Oh, ¿cómo está, mijo?"
Hey, well, the good thing is that some of us are fluent in both, and that's beneficial, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
it is for
Well,
sure.
I don't
Definitely.
understand why people don't want to learn both languages, especially here in El Paso. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to like be able to talk to literally anyone in the city, you need to know both, because there's a mix of people who only know English, and there's a mix of people who only know Spanish. So let's keep this podcast rolling, guys. We had came up with this segment. Is Misa about to leave? Where you going?
hold on, it's because I just got a text from a buddy that asked me, "What's that light in the sky? Where are you? Go look outside."
There's
So
a light
that's what
in
I'm
the
gonna do
sky
real
right
quick.
now. Okay, hold up. All right, well, I'm gonna put this on.
Gonna leave him out there.
I was gonna say, do you
Yeah, I'm
think?
gonna be like, I'm just gonna stay here.
I was gonna say, do you think you can do a play-by-play of what he's doing? But I don't think you can.
Yo, he's freaking out.
He's freaking out.
Hold on, I gotta go see it now for
Oh
myself.
no, now he's gone. Okay, we're gonna stop this recording.
I didn't see shit. He's probably
Oh,
high.
okay.
I mean, the moon's pretty bright, but that's not.
That's probably
It's
that
called
bright
the moon.
baby. So.
That's what I told him. The moon.
La Luna.
All right, so we have this idea, guys, to do this segment where Misa and Ozzy are gonna ask me if I've seen 3 different movies, and we're also gonna set an over and under of how many we think we've seen. So, Misa, do you have your 3 movies?
Yeah, I have 3 good movies.
Okay, hold
that I
on.
actually want to watch again.
All right, Ozzy, you have your 3 movies?
The movies that I want to watch again.
No. Your
you think he
fave, I
hasn't
thought
watched.
we said.
That I think he has
Or just
watched.
whatever, three good movies.
All right.
Okay. What do you guys think the over or under is that I've seen these movies? What do you guys want to set it at? It's 6 movies.
It depends, dude. I mean, you've told us that you don't really watch movies.
Yeah, so do we
But
want to
these
set
movies
it?
are what the ones I like are somewhat pretty popular. But still, dude, I'm gonna say I'm gonna do under 3.
I'll
Okay.
see. Yeah, probably under 3.
Under 3? Okay, Lena?
Yeah.
I'm not guessing because.
No, I know, but am I going to know more than 3? or
Oh,
under
okay.
3?
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say over.
Okay. All right. So let's start with Misa. Let's go. Give me 3 movies and ask me if I've seen them, and I'll give you the truth.
First movie, Four Brothers.
No, I've never seen it, but I know what it's about. I've seen the trailer.
Doesn't
And-
count.
Dude, you know what? It's a good movie, man. It's a movie I'd watched over and over, man.
Yeah, that's the
If
one
you guys
where
haven't watched it, watch it.
someone
I've watched it.
someone kills the mom, and then the brothers go out to get
Well,
revenge.
it's because they're all adopted. They were all
Okay.
adopted. It's like a group of, I think it's like four brothers, obviously. But,
It's a group
and
of 4.
then
all brothers.
their mom gets killed.
Their
But this is
adopted
after
mother.
they're already grown and stuff. So
Okay.
it brings them together to find out who and what. And
Okay,
it's pretty
so I've never seen that movie, but I know about it, so that one does not count. So
cool. What?
What? Yeah, you can't.
No, it's about movies that you haven't seen,
Yeah.
Chris.
No, the question is.
that's what I'm saying.
Have you seen it?
No, I've never
Okay, so
seen
then
it.
you haven't seen it.
Yeah, so that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. That does not count as I've seen it. You know,
Oh,
I
I
know what
see.
it's
Oh, okay,
about,
okay.
but it doesn't count because I've never seen it. All right, next.
The next one is Inception.
Oh, okay.
No, same thing, dude. I know what it's about.
I've seen
What?
it.
But I've never actually sat down and watched
It's probably my top like 5 favorite movies.
I think that's a great concept for a movie because,
Yeah, it was
like,
good.
Yeah, dude.
the way they
I
do
think
it.
they did a great job. I think when I first saw it, right after it ended, I had to watch it again, like right there and then.
So I'm gonna watch. I'll make you a promise. I'll watch at least that movie because I've always wanted to watch that movie. So I'll watch that movie.
Maybe you'll want to watch the third one too, because I think it's a good one.
Okay. Well, we'll see. There's not a third one, is there?
No, he's
Yeah,
saying
we'll
the
do
third
three.
movie.
We're doing three.
All right, go.
The third one is Interstellar.
Nope. I've never seen that one either.
Dude,
I don't think
you
I
gotta
ever
watch
know.
Interstellar, man. If you think that Inception has a good plot and stuff, you're gonna love Interstellar. It's a badass movie.
So Misa so far.
So I won.
No, we're
No.
Pretty much, right?
No,
well. Hold on. So name your last one.
that was his last
That
one.
was it, Chris. God damn it, Chris.
Okay, that was 3. Sorry, my bad. I thought we were doing 5.
Uno,
Okay.
dos,
Yeah, I
tres.
know, right?
Sorry.
Deux, trois.
Okay, Ozzy, your turn.
I'm just gonna say 3 of my favorite ones. Ray.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, like Ray Charles movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
hell yeah,
yeah.
Bro,
Awesome.
I got the collector's edition before even the DVD was out.
Yeah, dude,
It cost me like a nut at the time, but
Worth
I
it?
still have it. I still
Oh,
have
dude.
it. I love that movie.
that's probably one of the only movies that I've teared up in. Have you seen it, Chris? Wait, let's find the answer. Have you seen it, Chris?
No, I've never seen.
I knew it.
that's it.
Good.
Game over.
Okay, so
dude-
we're 0 for 4 right now. Okay, next.
Damn it, Chris. What do you do in your spare
I
time?
had hope.
Okay, go Ozzy. Next one. 0 for 4.
Okay, so another favorite one, man. It's a pretty basic one. Armageddon.
Oh, that's a good
Yes.
one. I
cried
love Bruce
every
Willis.
damn time.
Love Bruce
Armageddon is a
Willis.
good movie, dude.
The last time I saw Armageddon, I was at a bar. I was at Gasoline Ray's
Yeah, I've been there. Shout out.
with a few buddies of mine at my second job from the liquor store. This is a while back. So I'm watching the movie, I'm drinking, watching the movie, and then they're like, "Hey man, you alright?" And I was like, yeah, I'm good. Why? And I'm like, oh, you just look sad. What's going on? And I was like, no, it's because every time I see this movie, you know, it hits me in the feels. Like I always cry, man.
It's a good movie, dude.
It's a hell of
an
a
awesome
movie.
movie, bro.
And then they're like, nah, no, you don't, this and that. And I'm like, no, I do. Watch, just wait till the ending. And sure enough, man, that ending came. Taking a shot of tequila, and
They're kicking you
and
out.
I'm crying, and they're like, yo, you need to leave, man. Like, this isn't that type of place.
Yo, you know.
I was like, no,
You're yelling
it's,
at them assholes.
it's the
Playing that
movie. It's the movie, I swear. And yeah, man, it gets me every time I watch it.
Chris, please tell me you've seen it, Chris.
Yes, I have seen Armageddon, and dude, and you know how you know that I've seen it is at the end when they go down, because you know how they draw straws to see who's gonna stay on the asteroid and blow it up, and then they go down, and I can't remember his name, but it's the future husband
guy?
of the daughter.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Ben
Ben
Affleck, and then he's the one that's supposed to stay and blow the asteroid up, and then Bruce Willis fucking pushes him into the fucking elevator and it's like, I'm gonna do it myself, bro. You go marry my daughter. Like, America, and blows this shit up. So that's how you know
you
I've
pay
seen
for
it.
all the bills and shit.
Yeah.
Tired of it.
That's when they shed the first tear.
Okay. All
there.
right. So we're one. So we've got one so far that I've seen, and you got one more for us, Ozzy, and that's it.
La Bamba, man.
Oh.
Never go wrong with that one. Richie!
Dude, that's how I was when Kobe died. I was out in the middle of the desert, yeah, and my wife texted me about it, and I was like, Kobe.
No, I was at work, and I text my baby mama. I was like, "Hey, actually, I got out of work, and then we were going to a swap meet or something that they have, locally or whatever." And then I was telling her, I was like, "Hey, so what do you think about Kobe passing?" And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, Kobe and his daughter, they were in the chopper, and it just went down." So she started freaking out.
Get out of the chopper.
And she got on her phone, she Googled it, and she just froze. Like, she didn't even know what to say. because I guess us being pretty much close to age, like we all grew up, watching Kobe. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
for
all
sure.
it was. Kobe. Yeah, dude, I was shooting a 30-06 with my father-in-law, and I get a text and I read it, and she's like, Kobe Bryant died. And I was all like, what? Who dunked on his ass? First thought. And
Right, like you were expecting a joke.
yeah, dude, no, helicopter crash. And that's when I fell on my knees and she was yelled out, Kobe.
Shit, man.
It wasn't raining?
Nah, dude, it was pretty hot as fuck.
Oh, for sure it'd be raining.
All right, well, back to La Bamba.
Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, the movie.
Yeah.
So La Bamba, man. Have you seen it?
No, I've never seen La Bamba either.
Oh my god.
What, Chris?
No, I'm being honest with you,
Holy
bro.
shit.
Are you Mexican, Chris?
No, he's not.
I think I am. I'm supposed to be, but I don't feel like I am. But anyway.
Yeah, definitely
black?
isn't.
No, I feel like I'm like half white and then
I don't
half
think I
something
know.
else.
I don't think I know one Mexican that hasn't seen La Bamba until you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's seen it.
No, dude, I haven't.
haven't seen it?
No, I haven't.
See?
What?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Dude, I swear to God, I have not.
That's
seen that
how
movie.
many movies he's seen that he knows
Yo,
exactly
wait,
which
wait.
ones he has.
Chris used to work at that DVD place too.
Yeah, Entertainment. Remember?
Yeah.
How the fuck
What?
does that make sense?
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
He
I'm not
only
a movie
rented
guy, but I
movies
work at
for
a
me.
DVD place.
No,
No.
well, honestly, if anybody would ever come up to me and they're like, "Hey, bro, what's that movie where it's Nicolas Cage and he's going after this or that?" And then when they would be asking me that, I'd be on Google typing in Nicolas Cage goes for this or that, and then like fucking
GTS,
boom.
bro. You Google that shit.
Yeah, dude, and then I get the result, and then they're like, I'm like, oh, this one, and they're like, yeah, they're like, so they thought I was a movie expert, bro, but I'm not. I'm not
you're
even
walking,
close.
you're walking,
It's a
reading all
fake.
the reviews and letting them
Yep.
know, like if it was your review.
Exactly.
I give it an 8 out of 10,
So-
but that's just me.
But yeah, dude, I don't watch a lot of movies, dude. That's just like that's my thing. But
Yeah,
let's
you need to get a life, Chris.
keep this podcast
He
rolling.
doesn't watch anything, dude. Seriously,
Where-
even TV shows.
Yeah, let's keep this podcast rolling. Let's get ready to wrap this one up. I want to talk to you guys about the funniest thing you saw on the internet today. Who wants to go first? Somebody volunteer to go first.
I'll go first.
Okay, Misa.
And,
ahead.
I got out of work. I worked today. Today's my Friday, by the way. Woo!
Nice.
Anyways,
Happy Friday to you.
Thanks, man. I've been waiting for this day.
Today's my Monday.
Yeah, but dude, I got out of work. I get out at noon, and I was just tired, and I was thinking about a nap. And no joke, dude. You know how they say like when you need, you're looking for something and you want to buy something, and you see it on Facebook, it just pops out.
Like they're listening to you?
Yeah, exactly. And then so I was thinking about a nap, dude, and I started driving home from work. And before I started driving, I went through Facebook and I saw this meme, and it said car ride naps be hitting differently when you're the one driving. And that shit tripped me out, dude, and I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh my, that's
And I
real
was like,
cynical.
Does it hit me different? Like, would it feel better? Would it be a good nap? Let me try it out.
That's God bless.
That's ruthless as fuck.
All right.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Lena, funniest thing you saw on the internet today?
I haven't seen anything funny. I thought I
What?
did, but like,
You're not using the internet correctly if you didn't see anything funny all day.
Well, like we talked earlier, man, Joe Memes is nowhere to be found.
Nah, dude, there's still plenty
it's
of
his
funny
fault.
shit.
It all
trust
makes
me.
sense now.
Ozzy, you have anything? Funniest thing you saw on the internet today?
I haven't really been online, man. I've been working all day, but while we're getting ready for the podcast, I started going through my phone, and the one thing that I have seen that kind of cracks me up, I have a buddy that keeps freaking out over the beer shortage.
What? There's a beer?
Yeah, there's a beer shortage because
What?
due to the COVID-19 and all that in Mexico, they shut down most of the beer companies
Oh shit.
temporarily. So he's been freaking out because I guess whatever store he goes to, it's like almost always empty.
You hear this, babe?
And-
We gotta go get this beer now.
So yeah, I've seen working at different accounts through through the website, people are buying as much beer as they can.
Hey,
Like,
I mean, I usually buy my beer at Albertsons or like a Circle K, and it's always stacked.
Yeah.
go to Food King. It's like $13 for the 18-pack.
Holy fuck.
yeah, I haven't really noticed the beer shortage. Every time I go, there's always plenty of beer to buy. So the funniest thing I saw on the internet today, guys.
Oh no.
You guys know that meme where there's a girl and a guy that are laying on the bed texting each other?
Stupid, dude. I'm tired of that. fucking-
Dude, okay. Dude, trust me, if it wasn't good, like, I wouldn't, like, bring this up, but, like, because there's been so many different variations that, yeah, you get tired of it. I understand where you're coming from, Misa. But there's, the girls text the guy saying, I'm an Instagram model, or I'm a model on Instagram, right? That's what he,
Oh, yeah, I
that's,
saw that one.
yeah.
Oh.
And then the guy texts back, like, okay, cool. I'm a center mid in FIFA. Like said he's a professional soccer player. Like, it's cool. You're an Instagram
I'm the
model.
starting quarterback for the Cowboys.
Dude.
Oh, you're the one that posted that. I saw that earlier.
Dude, I was laughing so hard, bro, when I saw that. I couldn't control myself, dude.
Cheese and crap.
I really couldn't. So I really think that was like one of the best things I've ever seen on the internet. So shout out to whoever made that meme. They did a really fantastic job with that.
That was good, dude. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, dude, great stuff. So let's wrap up this podcast, guys. Misa, do you have any final thoughts?
I do actually. I have one question. One last question for Ozzy, and it's a question that we asked for a couple episodes that Lena came up with, and it's if you could describe your life in one word, what would it be?
In one word, under construction.
Under construction.
Oh.
Well, no, we said one word.
Well, we'll just
it's
hyphenate
spelled
it
one
for
word.
effect.
One word.
Is it really?
Is it?
Okay.
Damn.
Under
Better
construction
be.
is one word.
No, it's not one word.
That's not one word.
You know what? I'm throwing away my book. I need to go back to school, guys.
Okay.
And we're in school.
First
Oh
generation.
yeah.
First generation, man. That's what
First
happened.
generation. But
Okay.
You get the pass.
I'm so sorry.
What? Hey, what he meant to
Okay,
say.
let me think about it again.
Okay, yeah. Let's re-ask the question. Ozzy, describe yourself or describe your life.
My life in one word. Under construction.
Can I
Seriously,
offer you
in
one?
word?
Evolving.
Loading.
It's his life.
I like that. I like that.
Loading.
No, like overall loading. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
You still
You know?
not complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
loading.
that makes sense.
Okay, so let me
Because-
hold on. Let me ask this one more time so I can edit it the right way. Ozzy, can you describe your life in one word?
Under construction.
Come on.
Oh, you bastards.
I lost count of my beers. I'm not gonna lie, and I usually don't drink this much.
Okay.
Hey, I'm in
This
good
is
company.
where we'll get all his
so
secrets.
Why not?
Okay, so
My life in one word, man. Blessed.
Nice.
dude, that's the go-to word on this podcast.
But
man.
that's
Who was the first
cool.
one to use that?
Shit, I don't even remember,
I
but
think Jeremy.
everybody uses. Yeah,
Oh, that's
Jeremy.
right, it was
yeah,
Jeremy.
for sure.
Oh,
Okay.
someone already used it?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? You know which one that was good one with the lavish and vain.
Lavish.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
one word and right away he's like
Wow,
lavish.
that was beautiful, dude. I
Witty
love that.
Dude,
motherfucker.
he looked me straight in the eye and said lavish.
Yeah, and instantly you were like, God bless.
Dude.
That's a good word.
Yeah,
All right,
I
cool.
shit my pants.
Fucking final thoughts on the podcast, Ozzy. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Any
No,
shout outs,
man.
bro? Any shout outs to anybody out there?
Shout outs to the fam, man. It's my brother's birthday today.
Hey,
Oh,
happy Happy birthday.
Say, mamon.
happy.
May's busy, man. It's my
Yo,
brother's
Misa.
birthday. And then in 2 days, it's my brother-in-law's. And in 2 days, it's my sister's. And then in like a couple of days, it's Mother's Day.
Oh, that's
So
right.
it's just like,
And also on Wednesday is my son's birthday, man. He's gonna be 4 years old.
Hey,
Yeah, old enough to get a job from where I come from.
Happy birthday. Hey, Misa, real fast, dude. Your uncle's been fucking badgering me all night. He wants to get on the podcast. So here he is.
¡No sea mamón!
Bro, today, look, check this out. So
Has he had any natural light today? Maybe that's
No,
why.
yes. Let me tell you what this guy was doing, dude. Okay. So we have him posted up in the shed, right? So what he did is my dad has all these like tools and all these different things that you would get at Home Depot. Bro, he made himself a homemade beer bong, bro. Like,
Hey man,
with the,
that guy's good with his hands.
yes,
bro.
dude. So today I walked
she
out
said.
there. He was 12 beer bongs in, bro. Yeah, he had his shirt off. His pants were still on, so we're good. And he was laying down watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians on his iPad that I lent him.
Yeah,
Wow,
and then
dude,
I
he's
got
not
mad.
supposed to be
Like, of all,
watching that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So shout out to your uncle. That's what he's been up to. You know
Well,
what I mean?
met some dude, and like I said, he's still got a wife and 6 kids that are waiting for him.
Yeah, we're
I
not
re-
really talking. We're kind of mad at him right now.
They think he's over there in Odessa somewhere.
Okay. Well, no,
Oil
he's in,
rigs or something.
he's in Kim Kardashianville at this
Yeah, I
moment.
mean, all we're gonna
So-
do is feed him. Like, we're just not gonna talk to him right now. He's really upset us.
All
you
right,
know?
Lena. So final thoughts on the podcast before we wrap this up.
No, thank you for spending your time with us, Ozzy. It was nice to meet you. And I mean, hopefully, you're gonna come back on. Look forward to it.
Thank you for having me, guys. I've been waiting for this for a while, actually.
Nice, thank you.
I told a few friends about y'all's podcast, and they actually listened to a few of them, and they started bugging me. Hey, when are you gonna be on the podcast? And I'm like, good things take time. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah,
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
my schedule's full right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm an essential worker. Misa is as
We're
well.
all essential
Yeah.
AF.
So
And
yeah,
that's the reality
But-
too. With everything going on, like schedules change and stuff. so-
yeah. But
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
for having me. I'm always available for you guys. Thank you so much. It's a privilege and an honor.
Hell yeah, dude.
Thanks, man.
Maybe we can get more secrets on Misa. You can give us the dirt.
Oh, dude, we were talking about shit and stuff, and we're thinking about like, hey, man, if there's something you want me to say or whatever, like, just let me know. We're both like, nah, and I think most of it is because there's shit that I don't remember that I know happened. But we'll get into it next time. And next time we have you on here, we'll get more into detail about what we went through. But dude, it was good seeing you, man. It's been several years since I haven't
It has
seen you.
been.
Wow.
How many
Look
years
good.
exactly?
More than 5 for sure.
Definitely.
Holy
easily.
moly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your
But,
son's
no.
about 4.
Hey, well,
Yeah, just like Chris, dude. This guy just left me.
no, dude. Well,
Damn.
watch. Check this out.
For high
So,
school.
one of my final thoughts on this podcast is that this podcast has really been a place where we bring people together who haven't been like in contact with each other for years, bro.
Yeah,
Like-
bro, that's what I love about this, dude.
Maybe we
Literally-
could get my dad on it too.
Dude, literally.
I've been seeing him
hold on, that was a good
25
joke.
years.
Hey, great joke right there, dude. But no, like for real and being serious and everything. Like this is like how many times have we done this where we get on the pod and the person we're talking to is like, bro, I haven't seen you in so long, and it's cool because like when we do the podcast, everything just like flows. Like it's like we never skip the beat. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, dude.
shout
Yeah,
out.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, shout out to you, Misa. Shout out to Ozzy for joining us.
Yes,
You're
yes,
welcome
thank you.
back on the podcast anytime, for
Every
sure.
time, anytime.
Thank you.
And also, dude, thank you for showing other people and helping spread the podcast. That shit means a lot to us. That's like something that we can never put like a dollar sign on. Like that's more valuable than anything. So shout
I'll
out
give
to
you
you
5
for
bucks
that.
for it.
I'll take it.
So, like,
Misa-
We'll get more beer.
Yeah,
Ah,
Misa
for
will
the
give
next
you
podcast.
$5.
Yeah, well, when all this is over, like, we'll spend more time together. Like, that's the thing that sucks about the quarantine is it's kind of challenging us to spend time together. So it'll be nice when we can, like, interact with one another and cook and drink. But for now, it's just be safe.
But yeah,
You know
guys.
what? If once all this is over, like I would be so down for a few beers. Actually, a lot of beers,
Mhm.
Hey.
and definitely a cookout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
That sounds
I
good,
used to be a
bro.
grill master, so
Hey, you know what? I call myself a grill master as well, and maybe we could have a little
We can have,
competition.
that would be
Oh,
fucking legit. A couple competitions.
Friendly competition.
I was a grill master at the oldest barbecue restaurant in El Paso. So what you got?
I'm the first and only grill master in my house. What you
Hey.
got?
There you go.
Nothing.
No, yeah, I
Nothing.
would bet on Ozzy. I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
no
yeah.
offense.
If one day,
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Until it happens, we'll see.
Yeah, but that's the great thing about this is like, I mean, there's always next time. So thank you.
so yeah, one day once all this is over, we'll have a grill off and we'll do a podcast, and I will do play by play announcement of it. I'll sit back and watch you guys, and I'll eat, and then just like reap all the benefits while you guys do all the work. So that sounds great to me. But yeah,
Hey,
Ozzy,
real quick. I want to give
$10 to get in.
I wanna give a quick shout out, dude, to my cousin. He lives in San Francisco. His name's Joseph Monreal, man. He every time we release a podcast, bro, he'll listen to it and he'll give me a comment about his favorite part. He's the one that I told you that he started watching The Patriot from the last episode that we
hey,
talked
hell
about.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
cool,
Fuck
thank
yeah.
you.
He agreed with me that Led Zeppelin's also the best band in the world. So
Agree to disagree.
shout out to him, dude. Hopefully he said he'll be here in summer, and hopefully everything dies down enough to we could have him on here. And yeah, shout out.
Okay, cool. I look forward to that. But yeah, guys, this was episode 24, our Kobe Bryant episode in a way. This was featuring our boy, friend of the podcast, Mr. Ozzy. Make sure to go follow us on Instagram. Check out our Facebook page. Give us a like. Give us a share. All of our episodes are available for free to stream on the Anchor app and also on Spotify. So go check us out. Go check out our past episodes. And we are...